like we just did now. We're live now.
Oh, we're live now?
Right now, yeah, we're live.
We're live right now?
Right now, guys.
Like right now, like no intro? Like we're
No
not
intro.
doing it. We're not doing an intro thing.
No intro
It's the
thing.
live now intro.
It's
We're
the
not,
live
we're
now.
not doing an intro thing.
No, we're here.
Actually, so people can see us and they hear what we're talking about.
Well, they might be a little they might be delayed. So they might not be hearing us right now. They're hearing us in the future.
Oh, so they're going to hear us in 2 seconds. Shout
Or-
out to the future, everybody.
I'm gonna wave to myself.
Oh my God.
What's up, everybody? Welcome on in. We dove right in
Morning.
today.
Yeah.
No messing
No
around.
warnings. No warnings. We don't screw around here anymore.
So today we actually want to dive into a heavy Q&A session with anything to do with streaming and marbles. So the floor is going to be open today, but probably we should have a little bit of a chat while people trickle in because we didn't have an intro,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. How's your mornings going?
Surprise.
My morning?
Yeah.
It's going good, man. Got up, actually went for a long walk this morning.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Nice.
It was good. It's good.
Mhm.
Got my head on straight, and then
I had a very lazy morning. I didn't do much.
no.
No.
Why not? I thought you were on a kick.
I am on a kick, but today's my off kick day, I guess.
It's a non-kick day.
My non-kick day.
Okay,
No.
I
I
respect.
didn't wake
respect.
up early enough. I did, but I just laid in bed for an hour instead of getting up. It was just one of those days.
Well, do you do that purposely on Fridays because you go later? Like you have a longer sesh?
Maybe I've thought about that before, but it could be just internalized. Like, I have thought about it before, but maybe it's just a natural thing that happens Friday mornings. Like get an extra hour of relax in.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes I like to do that. Just start the Fridays off slower. I definitely when I did community days before you guys took it over,
Right.
started off later just because, having 500 people in chat and managing that mentally is a lot.
It's a
It
lot.
is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I
It's a lot
spend
to take on.
the 4 hours from noon to 4 just hyperventilating and making sure I'm set up.
And I spend the 4 hours after going,
Okay, welcome in, guys. I just wanted to do another intro. Well, of course, we are here with Spooo and Standard Damage. Today we're going to do a lot of Q&A, hopefully, so you guys can submit questions through the Ask a Question redemption for 25 pixel points in the channel. We want to go through anything you guys want to ask us, and then we're gonna chat. We're just gonna chat today. So yeah, feel free to chime in. We actually already got a question. I've noticed a lot of people on Community Day, but several of them were asking people to leave if they had already won a skin or coins. What's your opinion on how many times someone can win? They can win as many times as they want. Nobody has to
Yeah.
leave. Nobody's influenced to leave.
You're
Nobody
banned
should
for
be.
24 hours when you win a prize.
yeah, exactly. That's
No.
it. No more chatting. No more talking. No,
It's not about
you
the
know-
prizes. That's the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's about getting the community together. And not only that, but like we talk about this on stream all the time, that you'll win, you'll go like, and it's not fair to say to somebody you can't win twice in a day when odds are pretty good that they probably haven't won a prize in the last 3 months. It's like there's people will go a long stretch, and all the time we talk about this, right? You'll go a month, you'll go 3-4 weeks, you go 5-6. One time I went 3 months without winning anything, and then all of a sudden in one community day you win 2 or 3 times, or maybe two
Right.
community days in a row you win 2 or 3 times. And that's earned at that point. Like especially if you've been in there, because a lot of people do get in there and they're there week after week after week, and there's that skin that they really want to get. And it's something I really love and appreciate. But yeah,
The less you think about it, honestly, and the more you're just like dropping your ball and racing and hanging out. And, the community day was always just like, for me, a whole day event. Like I would sometimes I'd be really focusing on the races. Sometimes I'd, have the stream up on the side while working on other stuff. And I don't know. It was just like it was just a nice hangout. So
Yeah.
and when I won, it was like, oh, nice, I won. And most of the times it was when I was walking back from being AFK, and people were messaging me like, you won, you won. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I never got to experience that side of things.
Brett,
The
how's
receiving
that
end.
feel?
I have no clue.
Sometimes I miss it, man. I'm telling you, sometimes I miss
The
it.
studio has just
I have
gained
never
a
asked
sponsor.
myself the question, am I in more than I ever did on community day? that was like my number one question on Fridays. It's like, wait, did I drop my marble in? Wait, let me.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right. It's in there. That's good. You know, so.
Am I in?
Am I in? Yeah.
It's stuck, man. You branded that so well.
Right.
Like it's still in my brain. Whenever I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, so much fun. I'm gonna build that back in at some point too. That little, because everybody's been asking, where is it? Where is it? You know, but yeah.
I think it's a good thing to switch it up, and you switch it up a good bit. You know, you'll do like one thing for a while, and then another thing for a while, and then another thing for a while. When it comes to something like that, like joining the race or.
Oh yeah.
It's you know what it is? I get bored. Honestly.
Right.
I
No,
get
it makes
bored, and
sense.
I want to create something new at that point. And the way I look at it is if I'm starting to get bored with it or get tired with it, I'm probably like one step ahead of the community in terms of getting bored, because I'm there doing it the whole time and the community will be in and out, you know, at various times during a stream. So I just feel like that kind of keeps me ahead of that curve a little bit before things get really boring for the community itself.
No, that's a great gauge. It's honestly a really good gauge. I mean, have we ever talked about that?
I don't think
that's so interesting, because like I think about that a lot. Is like you need to stay ahead. Like if you start getting bored, that's your first indication that something, like you're not innovating, you're not changing things up to keep yourself interested, which is the first step to keeping your community interested.
I know we've talked about things like that, but not in those terms, like saying like, oh, I'm sitting here bored. Like it's more we talk about like asking if are you having fun playing the game you're playing, type of things like that, but not like thinking about you, the actual person being bored doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because those feelings happen for sure. It's like people have asked me even about the Spoobble, because like they're like, how do you do this? You've done this for so long. How do you do this map again? And it's just like, I find fun in doing it. I'm always thinking of something random and funny to say, or like tweak it just a little bit, you know, because I have noticed with them, like when I'm doing the same thing, I have had those moments of like, man, I'm bored right now. Like I'm not having fun doing this right now, but then I figure out a way to spice it up again a little bit or whatever.
Yeah, that goes back to keeping a notepad or note software or something handy too.
Yeah.
It's like so many ideas come to you as you're doing it. It's like, yeah, I'm bored with this right now, or I'm not happy with this right now, but you know what would make this really click here? And you know, and I'll like, excuse me 1 second, everybody, and I'll drop a note in the software. But yeah, there's always it's that constant evolution. It's that constant always changing something along the way. So it's it's really, you know, again, like your content has to evolve. Like nobody wants to come see the same television show day after day after day after day. Like if you think in terms of a television show as a half an hour or an hour once a week, and it's only around for 13 weeks and then it's gone until the next year, you know, until the next season or whatever the case may be. If people are coming and hanging with you for 20 hours a week, that's a lot of time to spend with somebody. So you know, again, it's just doing, it's not like you have to constantly be like throwing your whole stream up in the air and ripping it apart and then putting it back together again. It's just, what little things can you be doing to improve it along the way? What other little ideas have been coming up?
Yeah, keep breaking down the elements and just keep adding little things to each piece, right?
Right.
Yeah. I've told people so many times now, like they talk about, I'm starting to build out my alerts, I'm starting to build out my themes, and they come in with this just grandiose plan of how they're going to do it. And it's like, well, did you stop? Did you just maybe consider like starting? But they're trying to figure out how they're going to come up with the time to build it. Did you consider maybe just doing the basics? Start with just the basics, like build a basic framework, and then see where that goes. See what you want to lean into and what you don't, because I've made that mistake myself. You'll build something massive, and
then you don't really like it yourself.
It's like, no, this was a complete waste of my time. Okay.
Right.
But starting more basically, I'm actually doing that right now. In 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a spooky stream. The community voted they wanted me to do a scare stream. So I wanted to build out something new for it. So I'm building it out, and I'm making it fun and entertaining, but keeping very, very basic. Instead of doing like 80 different alerts, I've got like 6 or 7,
right?
You know, and I'll start there and I'll see how it blossoms from there. I'm not completely redoing all my overlays and all that. I'm doing some basic things to change the theme of it a little bit just for that night, you know, that kind of thing. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. It's just, but start with that basic framework and start to build your way out from there. It's really important that you do that, because that way, again, you might not, will probably save you wasting some time, because there's some things that look good on paper that in practice you're going to realize don't work. And that gives you that time to tweak things, and you don't crush yourself trying to build something completely brand new right out of the gate. So
that's a good piece of advice right there.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm just thinking of like, you know, all the Spoobble stuff just began with an atmosphere and a song. You know, it was just outer space, and then that one song I used, and then that got me thinking about all this other, like, oh, what can I do with all these other maps and like make them special somehow, and like, and now I'm at the point where it's like, this is a good thing, so I'm building. Now I'm taking the time to like build a grandiose event around it, and then, you know, I'm building that right now, and I want to release it here soon. And it's just taking that from such a simple concept of just, you know, the atmosphere in a song into basically what my stream is going to become. So,
and how long has that, what was the time span in between the first?
Like 2 years.
That's an extremely long time.
Yeah.
But that just shows the development cycle of this kind of stuff, is like, you got to let the ideas brew and build them out slowly.
Right.
Yeah.
Understand what works and what doesn't as you're doing them, and don't spend all your time on something that you're not 100% about, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Standard was saying, that's spending too much time building something and then having it be a flop, or you're not happy with it, or it's boring to you. And if it's boring to you, then it's boring to everybody.
Yeah. And it's funny because the Spool maps, you doing them got me thinking, how can I elevate that experience? Like, how can I help with that? And that's where the further development of some of those maps came from. Is like trying to make your experience look better so that when you layer with it, it's even better.
Right. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spooo, have you ever done a 24-hour stream of marbles? And maybe dive into 24-hour streams.
Oh God!
It's just
like,
a question that came
them?
in. Well, have you ever done one? Is one of the questions. And we know the answer, but.
Oh yeah, my longest stream was a 36-hour marble stream. And then what's the question? Like, what do I think about them?
Yeah, I was just like, expand on 24-hour streams. So if you want.
I think they can be really good events, but they're hard. They're so hard because you want to be, I mean, going back to the boring aspect, like 24 hours, how are you going to entertain people for 24 hours? It's really hard. And I think if you're going to do one, you really got to prepare, and you really got to like separate your times and be like, oh, for the first 4 hours, I'm going to do this, and then like do something fresh the next 4 hours. Even if it's in marbles, there's a lot of stuff you can do in marbles. Yeah. Like you can do a 4-hour tournament basically, and then you can go do 4 hours of tilting, or, you know, whatever, and just like switch it up every 4 hours, and just try to not fall asleep. I don't know, it's tough. Small snacks and hydrating, of course. Not easy though. I guess
Yeah.
build yourself up to it too. I remember when I first started streaming and I did my first 24-hour, I maybe made it 16 hours. But I don't know. I don't know if I suggest doing that at all. But if you want, if you want to do 24 hours, just prepare like crazy. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people remember if I was going into a season and I was grinding, I knew I was going to be doing 15 hours a day and then maybe some 24s. And it's just like I prepared like crazy. I basically got meal preps and stuff and all this, Gatorade or G Fuel or whatever I needed. Basically everything I needed. I put a bucket under my chair so I just poop. No, I didn't go that far.
So I could just poop. Okay.
I had something and now I got nothing. I just,
You laughed it out of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. It's one of those things. It's tough because I don't know if I truly highly suggest doing a 24-hour stream. Every once in a while, I think it could be good. But yeah, if you just gotta really prepare for it.
Yeah, you got
the bottom line.
You've really got to prepare. It's everything's in the preparation with that, and make sure that you schedule in breaks and that you stick with that schedule. That you actually give yourself time to get up, walk around, stretch your legs, whatever it is you've got to do.
Keep the blood flowing.
Yeah. I don't. I personally don't recommend them. I've done them too. I definitely have. And your sleep schedule's goofed up. You're so exhausted afterwards. I wonder because now I rest very heavily on it's not about the length of the entertainment per stream. It's about the quality of the entertainment per stream. And to your point, Spooo, yeah, it's like, now it's not just a matter of even how tired you're getting by the end of the stream. It's like filling up that time.
Yeah.
Too. It's like what am I going to do to keep this entertaining on top of keeping my energy up?
Yeah, that's so hard.
Well, it's not only that, but it's like how it affects the time frame around that event.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you need to cut back on the streams before that event, and then is it going to affect post event? And Tiara made a good point. It's because you're older now, and that's right. Yeah, like when I was 20, I could probably do 20, like just over and over.
But it was only 2 years ago I was really cranking. But I cranked my last few. I guess I cranked the last bit out of me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You're all cranked out.
I'm all cranked out.
You're all washed up now.
I'm all washed up, man.
Oh man.
Do we have a quote system in this channel? Because we really need a quote
system. I don't think so, but yeah, we definitely need to set it up.
Oh my god.
When will Community Day be? Community Day is at noon. It starts at noon at Standard Damage's channel, and then we go to Spooo at 4. It's 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Every Friday.
Every Friday. Is there any chance?
Hours.
What?
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say 8 hours of nothing but balls.
And ball skins.
And ball skins.
Okay. And that's a message from your community managers.
Do you want us to say marble skins? I'm trying to save that one syllable.
Marble skins.
Marble skins.
Is there any chance we will see Marble software for Mac OS someday? Maybe. We just bought a new Mac, mainly to build the iOS app, but we have plans to start testing an Mac build. But don't expect it anytime soon, because we don't know what the hell we're doing with Macs.
If you guys have any random stream or Marbles questions, well, maybe not like, we don't. Pixel doesn't want to be bothered with like stuff that's coming up. We're talking more, I guess. What's the word for it? Just stream information. If you guys have any questions that you want to drop on us.
Streaming in Marbles, but if it's like a how do I use the camera kind of thing, we have a Discord and we have a help channel that's like specified for that kind of stuff. We want to try and help you guys with like the higher level questions if we can. If that makes any sense.
Speaking of which, along the lines of the camera settings, by the way, I'm going to end up having to redo that graphic again. Hedry went in and played around with the blacklight camera settings.
Yeah.
And like
Nice.
really messed with it.
Yeah,
and
I
he
got
sent
new
me
ones
all the
from
settings.
him. Yeah.
Oh man, it's good. I
Yeah,
tried
man.
it out for the first time Wednesday. It's really good.
So here's a good conversation. Like we started discussing this here. Anything that's like, I don't know how to explain it. Anything that's like customized in the game, we want to start creating export options for them. If that makes sense. So like if there's the camera settings, you'd be able to click a button and it would copy like this text, and then you can send it to Spooo, and Spooo can copy it and then click a button in the game and it'll inject those settings into the camera settings. But we're also thinking like Grand Prix, like everything. And you just have like this text file you plug into the game and it loads, Standard Damage's favorite 9 tracks or whatever, right? But then it led to the conversation of, why do we do that? Why don't we just create a list that people can put into the game and share between each other? So the conversation went to Pluto. As Spooo would say. Why go to the moon when you can go to Pluto? But yeah, what do you guys think about those ideas?
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Think about all the different uses. Just, I mean, for everything. Like here's a marble loadout if you want to try that. Here's for like all the co-streams, like the shared Grand Prix and all that. Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, because the more sharing between the community, the better, right? And the easier it is to share, right? Would you consider making Buckshot more colorful holiday? Probably not. I'd probably just make a more colorful, different thing. That makes sense. A folder system for favorites. Wait, I would adore a folder system for the favorites list. Red Bless. The folder system.
Oh, different. We've actually talked about that before. Like different loadouts or different like separate favorite lists. So you have one list for like for example, like
categorized favorite list.
Tracks. These are all my favorite 1 minute lists.
I got you.
These are all my five favorite 5 minute tracks. That kind of thing.
It would probably be that problem would automatically be solved with our next iteration of the map builder, because we're thinking of implementing it's a suggestion, categories. So like blacklight stuff. So you'd have a favorites list, and then you'd be able to sort that favorites list by those categories.
By the tags. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So like you wouldn't need a folders. You would just have a list, and you'd be able to sort it accordingly. I think that's a solution for that suggestion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't say it's something I want. Okay. Like I think so. You know how there's a favorite list.
Yeah.
I think having another button like that just for tournaments, like when you set up a tournament and you like want to pick certain maps for a tournament, because you have like, if you have a favorite list of like 100 maps that you like,
right,
searching through and finding the map that you want is kind of a pain.
Right.
So if you have a list so I delete everything on my favorite list if I'm doing a tournament, and then I put the maps on there that are in the tournament. So it's easier to grab them. So just having another like loadout for like another favorite list would be super helpful. Yeah. Just so you have all your favorite maps, and then if you're doing an event, you can put a list of maps on another list.
So would you say it'd be favorited favorites? We go 2 levels deep with favorites.
Extra favorite, the rare favorite.
So like you have your favorites list, but then in your favorites list, you can favorite the favorites.
Right.
Into.
Yeah, it's like, you have your like, there's top 3 and then top 10. It's like top 3 is still a part of top 10, but it's top 3.
But yeah, I think like a preset would be good, right? Like if you were able to like construct some sort of preset pre the tournament. So like you have your favorites list, and you have like presets of like preset GPs. Would that like solve your issue?
Something like that, yeah.
So like you'd just be able to click something, and 16 races would get populated, the ones that you want, into the list.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. I feel like that, I don't know.
It's too specific.
That, huh?
Oh, grinders would love the hell out of that.
I've been
Right?
waiting for something like that for years.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, I don't need to click the 16 tracks that I want.
Mm.
Just get right in there and race. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Essentially, though, yeah, that would be ideal for both ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense. So for community day, whatever ball you race with is the one you win, unless it's a ball you get coins for. Correct?
Correct.
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 Oh, Tiara, what are your
Ball number
thoughts?
7 is coins as well too.
What? Ball number
I'm
7.
just saying ball number 7 is coins as well.
Right.
Yeah. Ball number 7.
Okay, this is from Tiara, so get ready. What are your thoughts on the energy system as it is and what you plan to do with it next season, and how do you feel it will affect not only viewers but streamers?
What is this reading? Not only viewers but streamers. I don't know if,
well,
if you want to take that.
yeah, I'm changing it. So next season we're looking at, I don't know the end points, but I'm looking to go 2, 4, 8. So tiers of 2, and then tiers of 4, and then tiers of 8. So just for like a quick idea, from 0 to 20, you'd be going through 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 7, or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever, right? Up to 20. And then at 20, it goes to 4. So it'd be 24, 28, 32, up until a certain point, and then we go by 8. But that would be the end point, is like 8 tiers of 8. And you don't get extra energy back. There's no extra. There's just 1 for 1 when you complete tiers. So it's not about building up, it's just about maintaining.
Yeah.
So that's where I think we're gonna be heading next season, and you're gonna start with you'll probably start with something like 10 to 20 energy, and that'll reset every day. And it's just up to you to manage it and be careful, because yeah, I mean, like, I think we've learned that the energy system, the way it is, the fact that people can scale, just take things to another dimension, right? You collect all this energy all day. So like the goal is to just collect all this energy and then expand and then go, which I thought, like, at the time, I thought that was a cool idea, but it's just the flow that it's creating. I don't technically agree with. So now we're adjusting. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you guys want to bounce off what you guys' thoughts of the energy system is, the way it is, and what I just said, what it is going to head into.
I just, as a streamer, I just like the fact that I don't have to go through such big leaps if we're having like, and you know, like when you're having like a lot of people now, a lot of the streamers now, they're calling out like, this is how many races we're doing, guys, or this is how many Grand Prix we're getting in today, things like that, which is excellent practice, by the way. But you always have those streams where you'd love to go like another tier, but when that next tier means that you're going to be running another 20 races, that gets tricky. So when you're moving to the system like you're describing, Mike, it makes things a whole lot easier, and it's not as difficult for everybody to keep track of either. I think the whole thing is just going to make life a whole lot simpler for everybody involved. Yeah. It's going to be a lot easier to track and a lot easier. And using that system as well, now that system is completely in line with the Grand Prix system, which is how a lot of us do that. A lot of us will set up a Grand Prix and go, all right, there's your next tier. And you'll keep it with, you'll keep in line with those increments, basically. So that's going to help too. It's like, guys, if I do a 16 race Grand Prix and set it up so I don't have to worry about switching maps in between, and we can just roll and chat and do pretty much whatever we want to do, and I don't have to worry about the tiers either, that's a win all the way around in my book.
Yeah, I've been telling people not to go above 20 in my channel, basically, because I'm not going to promise another 15 to 20.
Right, it's too long of a gap. Yeah, it's too long of a gap. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I think the 1-in-1 ratio return, I think that's good. I never did the system myself, so I don't know what people were able to like build up to and stuff, but I think that'll be good, regardless.
Yeah, and if it's not,
I
then we'll just adjust as well. Again.
I know I mentioned it to you when like Tilted was getting more popular, but I still think, I don't know, I still think something needs to be done with, I have no idea what, just with the way Tilted is done and with the points, because I don't like the fact that it's the same as what it used to be, where you can just be in as many as you want.
I agree.
So you can have like 50 tabs open if it allows for it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still playing with like the best way to limit it, because I don't want to just apply the energy system to that as well. Like I don't want Tilted to be the same. I want it to be different, a different experience.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge. It's a challenge to design a system that's going to, like, I want it to be free of energy. I want Tilted to be an energy-free space, because there's more skill involved to the game mode.
Right.
So I want to lean into that idea, is like, let's try and influence more skill there that will return points for viewers. And like, I'm playing with the idea of like, where you have to, your marble has to complete multiple in a row, so you have to be involved with the stream to get points. But I'm still just playing around with it. Like, I know that doesn't solve the issue, that simple implementation.
Right.
I think I mean, my main thing is that I just I guess I get sick of seeing you know, it's 10 people. Of course, is looking at the viewer count, which I don't like to do anyway, but it's like right in your face when you go to people's streams. You know, they have 10 viewers and 30 people on the field, and
I find that so interesting. Yeah.
Right. Something I don't know that I feel like you want to do is create this game so that doesn't happen.
Right.
Kind of. That's always been your intention. That was the whole point of the energy system to begin with.
It's I find like my opinions changed about the viewer numbers so much, and how things are perceived. And I just find it extremely interesting that how people aren't counted, even though people are there. It's clear that people are there, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's all bots. Yeah. Like there's definitely bots in the system. Like, I'm not gonna deny that, right? Twitch makes it very easy to bot the system, and Marbles is a game that you play through chat, so it's very easy to implement a bot that's going to be around. And of course, we try to find them and remove them, but there's always going to be a few that are around. But I just find it interesting how viewers aren't counted just because they're interacting more with the platform. Right? Like, we know the Marbles community is extremely supportive. We know that there's a lot of like subs, donations, bits that come through to many channels across Twitch, across Marbles, the Marbles community, right? So why is it perceived as a not viewer just because they're in more channels, right? And that's just a question I ask. It doesn't have to be answered. It's just one of my questions, is like, if the game promotes people to interact with your platform, is that bad?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was.
Right?
I do know where part of it came from. Anyway, when they switched that around, is they were going for words that were used that kind of slipped through the grapevine to me were actual engaged viewership. That's what they were trying to go for at the time. But the thing is they're never going to be able to create a perfect system for that, and it's technically, I almost want to say it's technically impossible at this point to track that via a number. Like we were talking last week, like all of my numbers when I'm streaming, all my numbers are off. Like my viewer count, I don't even see it anymore. I'm focused on chat and I'm focused on the races. I don't want that distraction in my life anymore. And so like that's where they were coming from with that. But you might have somebody watching through a third-party service like a Khadgar or something like that, and they're sitting there interacting with you.
Yeah.
But they don't count.
Right.
Because they're watching through third party, or somebody might be in, say 7 streams, but because you're stream number 6 or 7 in the chain, their viewership isn't counting to you, even though they're hanging out in your stream and talking to you.
Right.
So
Did this whole system shut down? Spooo, are you there? Are you guys there? Hello? What happened? Hello? Guys, my whole Discord just caca'd. Caca! Hold on. Wait, why am I hearing things now? That doesn't
I don't
even
know. Why are you hearing things?
What?
Hello?
Discord's closed. How?
It was Discord. Discord did it. Because I looked over at the stream, I saw we were gone all of a sudden, and then I looked over and everybody was frozen. All the cameras were frozen.
Why? Yeah, it was super. Like, it was weird. Anyways, where were you? Where'd you leave off? You were in the middle of saying.
I don't know where I left off. You know, and it sucks because I was really on a roll there with that one too about like what counts and what doesn't. And but my bottom line is what I was really saying is that I do agree with you. My views on that subject have changed a bit. You know, it's like why doesn't somebody count? Because they're talking and interacting with me through like an outside third party site.
Yeah.
Or why don't they count because I'm tab number 6 out of 7 they have open, and they're sitting there interacting with me. They're very present. But because I was that number tab that got opened, I don't count.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't count for us. You know, or they see it as a bot situation. I don't believe I don't agree with any of that. I don't agree with any of that.
This is the thing is I also I understand their point of view is if they're targeting market, like if they're trying to get marketing numbers, right? You would rather have a more true number than a more fake number.
Right.
So by trimming your numbers and just making sure that the numbers that you do have are people that are there, then you can say like, hey, we at least have a system, and these people that are red, like the people that have red numbers are getting actual engagement.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can see both sides, and I understand it. So like, it's not like we're trying to like generate hate for Twitch. I love Twitch, and I like a lot of the work they do. It's just one of these situations. It's just very weird. It's just very weird to see it, and I don't think a lot of people see it because not a lot of people develop games like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's not really an issue that's generally talked about or cared about, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like the only reason people were in multiple streams before Marbles was to try to be a viewer in a lot of places, you know, try to like lurk for people and give people a viewer, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the lurk forces and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. And then that got nipped in the butt at the same time Marbles was
like we
growing.
were affected by that stage, and I mean like when we made changes with the energy system, it was to abide by those rules or try to design a system that wrapped better with those rules.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing's perfect as always, and here we are.
I mean, imagine if you didn't have the energy system though, like how many Marble streamers would have 0 viewers and like 30 people in there.
Well, here's
30 marbles, no viewers. Yeah.
Like here's the thing: another Stream Interactive game is doing something differently, and I like that they're trying something new. Is that they're doing every 20 races an hour you can do that count for points.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool. Like it's a cool iteration. It's trying to nip the same thing in the butt, right? Is like we don't want you like all over the place just going crazy. We like you just to be focusing on a tight little group of streamers and then move through that as you see fit. But yeah, I mean, we're going to continue seeing it as Stream Interactive Gaming grows. People are going to continue trying to solve this issue at scale, because if you have a game that is viewer interactive, but the viewers aren't really influenced to be truly interactive, and they're just there to drop a play or drop a one command every so often, then it's not promoting the health of the platform. Even though we know a lot of those people are just enjoying the game and rolling a marble, it's for the platform, it's not what they want, and they've clearly stated that, right, by setting those rules.
Yeah.
So we just need to adjust, and coming back to it is Tilted needs an adjustment, and it's in our minds and we want to do it. But the first step is I want to get Tilted into a more like a better state, just the game itself. And then I want to design the like not energy, but I want to design a system around controlling how like how the viewers are engaging with it. But that's my opinion on Tilt. Is like I need to make the mode better. There's so many ideas that have been presented by the community that are amazing, and I want to lean into. And this is why patience comes right back around full circle. Is I've had to be patient with Kegstand because he's been spending a lot of time rewriting old logic that had to get updated, like the chat service that was updated last season and made the game a lot more reactive to chat and just process chat better. I don't know if you noticed, but XQC was having issues with the game. Whenever he would try, it would actually disconnect from chat like mid while people were joining, and there was other streamers having similar issues. So we wanted to fix those issues for the large scale streamers who were coming on board, presenting the game for 40,000 plus people.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And it sucks reacting that kind of stuff because like it's satisfying one streamer, but it's so important that at the top end, when your game is being played at that high level, that it runs smoothly and it's being perceived positively and received positively, so that those people then go, whoa, marbles is pretty cool, let's go check out the category. So that's always the intent, right? And
yeah.
So like some people might be like, well, why'd you spend time rewriting chat? It's like, that's why we would want to do it, so that the game is perceived positively at scale as well by the minority streamers, which is actually our majority.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and the thing to keep in mind too, that's actually like addressing that was a very critical thing, because now we have, not only do we have, these monster streamers that are playing the game from time to time, but we have an awful lot of streams that are growing up with marbles.
Exactly.
It's like it's no longer the top end is 40 to 50 marbles in your game. Now your top end is over 100 for a lot of people that are running marbles every single stream. So as those streamers continue to grow, the need for a very smooth running game, especially as we start getting into higher and higher amounts, becomes greater and greater. So yeah, having that out of the way, not only does that address that now, but it addresses what could be a very large problem, up the road for us. So.
Right. And then now that Kegstand's been able to do that, we're now like being able to come back to gameplay implementations and have him go through Tilted and add some really cool stuff that we could hook into and start showing like runtime, like your full runtime. I see a lot of speed running going on. Spooo, you did a speed run yesterday. Yusuf presented the full framework of like, following where you are with time and everything, like an actual speed run. And I just thought that was genius and amazing that like somebody wants to do that with our game. So it makes me want to lean into that and provide the tools to be able to do that. So one of the things we want to add is like a runtime. So like how long your run's taking. And we're not going to like have a leaderboard for it, but we just want to provide you the information so that you guys, if you guys want to run an event with that, you can say best time wins or whatever, right? Just creating more avenues for you guys to run events and have fun with your communities. That was an adventure of a question.
Yeah.
All right, we good to move to the next one?
Yeah.
Will the Pixel team be expanding the community leadership team? Community leadership team, like as in community managers, like Spooo and StandardDamage? Yeah, I mean, like, I think I spoke on this on stream. I want to take the community manager team into a global state. I don't know, what do you want to call it? Like, so it's more globalized in the sense of we have all the languages, we have like all the demographics covered for people. So if somebody's coming in from a Spanish community, they have a community manager who can clearly translate our marketing, the messages we're trying to convey, and like how the game works. And this is the challenging part, is we got to find people who are English and that other language so they can communicate with us and we can pass on the information. And that's like asking a lot on people, because I feel like that's like when you start talking to people that know multiple languages, like that's somebody who has a lot more skills at their fingertips, right? And it's just, I think it's harder to come by, more challenging. But yeah, like that's where I want to take the community team, is the community manager team, is like, imagine Fridays all throughout the day. At any time there could be a community day running. So like, you guys know how you guys do your 4 hours. Imagine at the start of the day, at start of Friday, whenever the first Friday morning hits, is like everybody can run their event. So they'd be like the Australian community manager, you know, and you just roll through the time zones and you have everybody among every time zone, and then people can just engage with the time zone that they're most, that fits well in their schedule, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that would be perfect with Marble Team as well if we had all that.
Yeah.
So you'd have a community manager for each like slot.
Yeah, exactly. So the biggest thing, the reason why Standard Damage and Spooo are in the positions they have, and if you're interested in something that they're doing, is to just start doing it. I know it's hard to think about, but like, you just got to start acting that way, because that's what we want to work with people who are naturally doing those things, if that makes any sense. So like, people who are engaging in the Discord and helping bring people together, and so that we could just say, oh, you're already doing this? Well, what if this person is already doing it and has all the support from the studio to continue doing that? That's the way I look at things. But that's a big task. Like, having so many community managers and managing that kind of personnel would be challenging. It's right.
You'd almost need teams at that point.
Yeah.
You'd almost, it's just to make sure that everybody's staying where they on track and where they need to be, and the message is staying consistent is a big thing.
Right.
Small teams have a lot of difficulty with that. Larger teams, it becomes a real challenge. So, yeah, but I mean, it's doable. And I think the cool thing is about like where we're at right now, every time you talk about something like that, is we can do this kind of thing gradually, you know, like once we get there and we find more people that, you know, would like to come on with us and all that, that we want to bring in with us. And we'll be able to expand that slowly and work the kinks out as we go.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, that's the biggest challenge right now, is localization, which is like localizing your game for languages, and localizing the community and our messages. That's like one of the biggest tasks that we want to overcome, but we're so new at it, so we haven't started attacking that cause yet.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to have longer Grand Prix? I don't really want to go too far past 16. That's one of the reasons why the change to the energy system is in those increments, is to match with the Grand Prix system. Like a 16 race Grand Prix is a long time. It's a big commitment, and I know people could do more, but I think 16 is just a healthy amount to exist in the game. And if you want to continue, do another 16 after that. What do you guys think about that? I guess that opinion. That's my thought on it. Like, people have been asking for like 20 race Grand Prix and 24.
I mean, I don't like to go above 10 personally, so that's just me.
Why is that? Time?
I mean, yeah, that's a long Grand Prix. It's like, for me, it's an event. It's not like just doing 16 races. You know, I want to make it, you know, top threes out of 10 races. That's a pretty good achievement. So I think spending more time than that for racers is, you know, that's a long time. Just, that's what I think personally. 10 races takes, depending on how you do it, I like to do 90-second to 2-minute timers, so, and talk a bit and have some fun. So that can take an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Easy.
It always amazes me the time difference between streamers. Like, you know, it's like, how long does it take person A to get through 10 versus person B, and what is the difference in their personalities that causes that, in the way they run their stream, that causes like such a big time discrepancy at times. But, you know, the only reason why I would personally, there's only one thing I'd want to see a 20 race Grand Prix for, that I would ever use it for, and that would be a tournament. If I could have a tournament completely set up ahead of time. You know, but that is something like where you could even discuss like a tournament mode, where it automatically sets up your leaderboard. You can drop all your races in, and there's your tournament, and you know, it just takes like the leaderboard function and the Grand Prix and kind of puts it together.
Right.
in one package kind of thing, so that when you're running a tournament of some kind, because a lot of tournaments do go 20 races, or you know, some will go better, but like a lot of even our main events we do 20. So it would be nice to be able to just have that all squared away right away and be able to run with it if that's what we chose to do. But that's like literally the only thing, and that's a once in a while thing. On the daily, I'm completely with Spooo on that. If I'm doing more than 10 races in a Grand Prix, that's a long Grand Prix, especially on a standard stream. So
yeah. I got a question. Did somebody, or oh, shoot.
Some good points were made while we were talking there.
Yeah, I'm trying to like go in order with the questions that are being submitted. I don't want to get out of order here.
Right.
Somebody asked if the energy changes mean that you're gonna stop building energy. Yeah, like you're no longer gonna get extra energy. You're just gonna get 1-for-1 exchanges basically. So if you spend 4, you'll get 4. If you spend 2, you'll get 2. If you spend 8, you'll get 8. Because what's happening right now is everybody's just farming extra, and I don't think that's healthy. It's just not healthy for like the framework of the game. So we want to make a change and see how that feels.
Mhm.
Can you get energy returns on multiple streams if you're racing multiple? Yes. Yep. As long as you have energy, you can earn energy back. But just be careful. Like if you run out of energy before you get energy return, you'll lose that tier. For leaderboard points, have you ever thought about keeping tilted points separate from racing? I don't believe in a separate system. I don't think our community is big enough for a separate system, honestly, for the amount of people who play on the regular. But I believe in wrapping everybody together. Like, stream interactive gaming is about together. It's not about separate. It's not about creating groups. It's not about creating all this separateness. It's just creating everybody's playing differently, but competing into the same space. And that's my challenge, to try and keep it even in both spaces. And you can play however you like. But that's kind of like my idea of this whole thing. Like, if you've heard me talk about before about like PvP coins and stuff like that, is it's always about keeping, like, as we go forward with more games, the idea is to keep PvP coins in all the games. So you can hop between stream interactive gaming and spend those coins across wherever you're hanging out, and not be like, oh, another game I need to get involved in and earn coins and whatever. It's like you can go from marbles, earn 100 coins, and then come to the next game and spend coins there and be like, wow, I just feel like I'm in the same ecosystem. That's the goal. That's the goal of this whole on-stream thing. Is like, I'm not thinking little compartmentalized spaces. I'm thinking one big family. Exactly, Agent. And that's so important.
Marbles economy.
Yeah. It's so important to me. That's my belief, and that's the message I want to convey with marbles and on stream. Do you guys want to chime in on that? That's more of a statement, but I mean, you guys are with us.
Yeah. I don't, what I find, like, every time you start talking about other games, or other, other games that we can get into, things like that, my imagination goes nutsy. It's like having an entire, not just a game, but an entire system of games that brings more people in, gives more variety, expands the community even further. But at the same time, one system that keeps tying everybody together. Like a lot of the streamers now really are figuring out that the community isn't just about the community that's immediately in front of them, and or not just about the grinder. Like they're not separating streams anymore. It's not a grinder stream or a community stream. It's an everybody kind of stream. So what happens when the gaming that you can participate in as part of this entire system becomes more gaming for more people? I don't know if you could ever create a system that's going to be for everybody.
Right.
And I get that, but every time you add another layer of gaming or something like that, you open up the playing field even further for more people that would like to come in and be able to join. It's like maybe they're not in the marbles, but they might really enjoy game B, right, or game C. And it's going to get to the point where you're going to have experts in marbles, and you're going to have experts in that next game and the game after that, and you might even have, going back to the community manager thing for just a second, you might have multiple community managers in the same geographic region, but they're handling different games, just because they have a grip on it, or they love it and they're just diving into it, whatever the case may be, you know?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you got anything, or you want me to...
I mean, I think it's a cool idea in general. Not many. I don't think many games or companies do that. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd like I want to see it play out. That's why I believe in it so much. Is like, what is it?
I mean, I don't see it being a bad thing.
Right.
So it's like, why not give it a shot?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see it across multiple games with an active reward system. Like some companies do it as like a passive system. It's like, oh, you played game X and you got this achievement. Well, here, you can have some points to unlock a skin or something like that. But to have an actual active system where you're really starting to get involved in it, and it's like, oh, I won coins and marbles, but I want this jacket for my character over in this game over here, and I can use those coins to do that.
Yeah.
Again, it's more things to more people. It's like,
yeah,
it's like
you have more chance to like win some coins if you're playing in the whole community events, like all the events of all the games and stuff, and then you can just like spend it anywhere, whichever game you like more, whatever you're saving for, like you said, or something.
Yeah.
It could really be good.
I think it's pretty cool.
I just don't see the bad.
Right.
Who knows how it could play
Who knows?
out, like,
yeah, exactly.
But I don't see the bad. So
from a company perspective, like if I was like really chasing revenue, I could see it being a revenue issue.
Mm-hmm.
If you just didn't design it right.
Right.
You know, if like you're like, oh, I'm looking for that $60 price tag. Well, I'm not going to get that anymore. But that's not why we're here. So will the grind be different season with some new changes? Can you mention that you are working on? So will the grind be different season? The grind will be different next season, if that's what you're asking. It will change. We're changing the tiers, so that'll change the way viewers interact with the game, and we'll have to see how that plays out. And TR asked a question. To add to that question, do you think the new system will change the behavior of how people grind the streamer leaderboard? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think every change changes behavior, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Every time we've changed, it's changed how people play the game and how they react to the game, and the kind of people it attracts too. We're just going to continue moving it forward and keep trying new stuff. This system's been in for what? Almost a year now, I think. With the energy? Like
we're getting close, yeah. Yeah, it was introduced just a little bit after TwitchCon. So,
right. So yeah, we're getting close. So yeah, it's time for a change. Time for some shift. D3 Dex, would you consider language channels in Discord? This would be a good way of helping other people not to speak English and being able to source of information. Yeah, exactly. That's why I want community managers, because without a moderated channel, you're operating a dangerous space. If you cannot have somebody who can read the Discord and break down each chat, and you know they're there 24/7 to moderate that, then you no longer have a safe space for people to hang out. So until I can moderate a channel 100% at a different language, I will not operate a channel different language. It's why you see a lot of channels who are English speaking not allowing other languages in their channels, because they cannot moderate it to the full extent that is needed to be moderated. It's not about being able to have somebody go, yo, there's something wrong being said there. It's like understanding that somebody's being able to read every single message, break it down, and understand the context, and then say, yes, this is good, or yes, this is not appropriate for our channel. So until I, as a company, can 100% say, yes, that channel is moderated, I will not implement a channel like that. Sorry. So, and that's why we need community managers to come on board, or who want to be on board, to watch these channels and know that each checks, and I can trust that person to say, yes, this is good, this is bad, like this is fine. And most of the time it's fine, that's the thing. But it's when those bad messages come in, they can't sit there. They can't sit there for an hour, they can't sit there for 10 minutes. They have to be gone.
And like you said before, it's just kind of something, the way Pixel does things and works with people is like he wants to work with people that are already just naturally doing it, not like not like go and hunt somebody and pick somebody out. It's just like if that's something you want to do and you're passionate about it and you like seeing where the game is going and you want to grow with the game, like you just gotta do it. You just gotta jump on and do it. I didn't think about becoming a community manager when I was just out and about helping people learn the game and playing the game. My stream was growing. I was having fun interacting with people. I was having fun playing the game. So it just like became this thing to just meet everybody and get everybody involved in the game and teach everybody as much as I knew. So I just did it.
Yeah.
And then one day Pixel was like, well, you want to be a community manager? It's like, all right, sure.
Yeah. And that's really it. We've talked about this a lot before too. It's like we didn't come into this with any intentions. We weren't trying to, like, being a part of the company didn't really cross our minds.
Yeah.
It was just, wow, check out this game. I love the game. I love the company. I love the community. I want to do more of this, and it's the right game for my personality, so it works great. So you start to develop this whole thing around it. It becomes your sandbox. You're playing in it 4 or 5 times a week, and yeah, the trick is, and that's true of a lot of things. Everybody is that again, like for somebody that wants to make that a goal, that wants to become a part of a company. I've seen a lot of streamers, a lot of content creators that end up becoming parts of various gaming companies simply because they love the game that much and they were out there doing it already.
Yeah.
So the company came to them and said, hey, you want to come build maps for us, or you want to come do this, or do you want to be the face of this, or what do you want to do? And that's where that all comes from. So
yeah, just show, whatever companies you want to work with, just show them what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so important. Like, just to the core of things. If you're a streamer and you want to work with a company, if you're not already enjoying their products and sharing it with your communities at scale, not just like every Friday, hey, yeah, I like this, you go buy it. It's true passion. It's what you see in Spooo and StandardDamage's streams. It's like, it's the reason why Marbles sticks in their channels. It's because they're passionate about it. I'm not passionate about them being passionate about it. Like, they're passionate about it, and they're not being forced to be passionate about it. It's just who they are, and that's what I want to work with. That's the kind of people I want to work with, is like people who are passionate about what I'm doing, regardless of whether micro decisions are not agreed upon, but the overall picture is agreed upon. And that's the biggest thing, is like, if you're not on board with this overall big picture, then why are you getting involved? Why do you want to work with a company and sell their keyboards if you don't even like their keyboards, or you don't even have one? Why do you want to sell something you've never even put your hands on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
exactly.
Marbles is so deep. There's so much to Marbles. You can't just walk in and be like, I'm a community manager for Marbles. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. You need to be wrapped up into it. You need to understand every part of it and understand how the community is around Marbles. I talk to companies all the time now, and companies who want to be involved. And a lot of the time you see people want to be involved because of the numbers, but not be involved because they understand the product and what we're doing. And it's so important to work with people that are understanding this ecosystem, because this is bigger than just a game. This is bigger than just something that's linked to Twitch. Like, Spoo's been saying it for a long time, and it's taken me a long time to really, really, really understand why he likes it this much and why he believes it this much. And I see it, like, after like so long. It's just what it does to the community and the way it brings people together, which it was not in the core design of this game. It just wasn't. This is a accidental thing we noticed, but then I saw it and leaned into it. And now, like, the Marbles are just getting better and better, and we're seeing what's bringing value to communities. And so that's what I believe in. That's the people we want to work with. It's like, I can go play other games and get toxicity. It's easy. You just go turn it on and throw yourself in the category. You're going to get people coming in being toxic. Or you can play some Marbles and have amazing people come out, enjoy rolling Marbles with you, and you have great conversations and just enjoy your time together. That's the experience I love. That's why I continue to put Marbles on my screen. Like, I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe in it, and I've been doing it for 2 years. And you guys have been doing it for a long time now too.
Yeah. I still every once in a while, like we'll talk about the first people that were ever in our streams when we were rolling marbles and how many marbles we had. And every time I'm talking to a growing marble streamer or somebody that's coming to us first time brand new and talking to them about their first experiences and listening to what their viewer counts were and how many marbles they had on the track and all that good stuff. And it's really hard not to reminisce yourself when you're having those conversations. It's like, yeah, I remember my first stream, 8 marbles on the track, you know? And it's what it boils down to is, and this is why a lot of other companies that come in are going to have a very tough time with this space, because to your point, Mike, they're looking at numbers. They're looking at all the logistics, and what they're not looking at, what makes this game what it is the way it creates that community,
the people within.
And that's going to be very difficult to replicate. That's going to be the toughest thing to replicate, and because you can't replicate people.
No, you can't.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't. For people that are this passionate, people that are just throwing themselves headlong into it, people that are willing to volunteer time and teach classes and do marble team and go out and visit other streamers, all this stuff. All right. I can't think of another community at this point that I'm aware of that is doing all of this, you know, and it's a big deal. It's way bigger than a lot of these companies put stock in. So
For sure.
And it's what drives me to work on this 7 days a week. Like I work every single day, and not because I feel like I have to. It's because, well, in a way it is. I feel like I have to because the community does so much, but it's not because I feel like I have to in a bad way. Like I just like I want to, because you guys are working so hard. I see streamers out there doing amazing events. It's like, how can we make this better? Like, how can we just keep leaning into this and making your content better and providing better experiences for everybody to enjoy?
Yeah. The cycles of creativity I see going on. It's something I've been focusing on myself. Is getting to the point, like I'm talking to more and more streamers now. They're trying to follow the concept of every stream's going to be an event of some kind. Every stream we've got something big, something fun going on, and it's amazing to watch. Like, some of this stuff doesn't work. Some of this stuff is brilliant in how it works out. But there's less fear in the community. Like, a lot more people are trying to expand, and they're willing to try out new things, try out different things. And it's been just absolutely amazing to watch what's going on.
Yeah. And going back to, when reminiscing about when we first started doing marbles, basically, and you see in like the marble team, I love going out in the marble team and going to people who are fresh into marbles, because it brings you back to that, like, it's like looking back in time at yourself, kind of, when you see people just starting marbles and just getting into it and excited about so much different, like, so much stuff is going on the screen that I guess we take for granted if we do it all the time, and like we just see it all the time, right? And then you go, you watch somebody that sees a shark marble for the first time, and they're just like, wow, they're losing their minds, or you teach them slow motion and they're losing their minds, and like, it's just so good to do that. Yeah. That's why I love marble team. So good.
Yeah, it reminds you, because it's very difficult not to take certain things for granted when you live it and breathe it, 6-7 days a week. Like, there's just certain things you grow, not that it loses its fun, but you grow accustomed to it. You don't have the same wow factor. So yeah, when you go visit somebody that's checking it out for the first time, or somebody that's just coming back to the game, that's just as much fun, And
that's like coming full circle with boredom, like we talked about earlier. So the more that I've been doing the marble, like I used to do marble team kind of by myself, and then I stopped for a while and I just kind of visited random people. And now that I'm doing it more and more now, it's just keeping that freshness and marble excitement in my brain, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're seeing new people get involved and having a lot of fun, and it's like, you're reminded of how much fun it is, and it is a lot of fun. But like we said, like, sometimes you just take for granted that you're soaking in everything, all the stuff every single day, and you're just used to it.
Yeah, we've played it so much.
Yeah.
After all this time, right?
Yeah.
I was going through a couple of VODs or highlights that were on my channel, and I ran into one that was, it must have been one of the early races. There was like 6 marbles on the track, and I was doing it in between Fortnite matches. And like I just switched off. I was in Fortnite. I was like, all right, guys, we're gonna do a race. And I switched to the game, and we rolled 6 marbles down the funnel. And it was like, I was like, there was no names. It was before there was name tags in the game. It was just a leaderboard at the top right.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy cow, like this is so old. But we had 6 marbles on our channel. And it was like, I was super hyped about it. I was like, holy cow, there's 6 marbles. But that's like, it's so awesome to look back on, because that excitement, just like you were talking about, is like, that's what the excitement is of this game, is like the way that people get involved together. And we've experienced 500 on the track, and sometimes you forget that what that first time you reached 6 was.
Yeah.
Right? Like, holy cow, 6. Like that was awesome, right? And just breaking, like, it's always like chasing that higher number, right? But you forget that those 500 people have been with you for a long time, and we built Community Day from nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And we did it together, and it's here now. And when I say we, like everybody, the whole community, like you guys are the ones who talk about it. You know, Spooo, StandardDamage, like you guys are the ones who made it big. Not me. I was just the one doing it. But you guys are the ones that were talking about it and continue to talk about, hey, today's Community Day, let's go hang out. You guys raid into Community Day. Like all this stuff happens, and that's the reason why it's where it is. It's because the community built it together. And now it's almost like this obligation to maintain it, because everybody's worked so hard, and we need to make it better. We need to like keep iterating on Community Day and make, now that we're at 500, how can we push the limits so that we're not worrying about the prizes anymore, and you're not worrying about recording stuff. It's just done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that'll come in time.
Yep.
I still consider the spreadsheet a necessary evil for right now. It's like I will happily put up with the spreadsheet to be able to hang with 500 of my closest friends on a Friday. Like that's it's just how I view it now, you know. It's like, but yes, it will be even more awesome when the system's more automated and we don't have to pay as much attention to that, because that'll allow us to stay more focused even on chat and what's going on and
the
answering
community
questions and just hanging out. Yeah, being a community.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
guys, we're over time. I have 4 questions here. I don't want to get into them because we've had great conversations, guys. If you submitted a question, I'm gonna call out your name. Try and remember it and ask next week. I think this is good. This is a good format.
Yeah.
Like,
this was awesome.
So maybe we'll do this again next week. Hidri, Tiara, Pirate Unicorn, and Mr. Moondog. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna reject it so you guys don't spend your currency. There's such great conversation this week. So yeah, we'll have to do this continue next week, because you guys got community day coming up.
Yeah. Less than an hour. I need to get it in gear. I actually want to start trying to get everybody. By the way, while you're here, if you can help me spread the word, I actually want to try to start Community Day a little bit earlier, a little bit ahead of 12. We'll start racing at 12, but I want to get some more of the chatting and all that. Get a chance to really get to gel with you guys a little bit ahead of time. So I'm going to start working on starting those streams about 10 minutes early. I'll start about 10 to 12. Just again, so we get a chance to chat and say hello and all that before, and we'll start rolling right around noon so we can get the races in.
Awesome.
So,
any other shout outs you guys want to get out before we call it here?
I think Twidget's doing a Marble Team late night tonight, midnight to 4 a.m. Correct me if I'm wrong, Twidget. I think you're starting it this week.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
He just confirmed, yeah.
Starting at midnight, yeah. And then we had one this morning, 4 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Whoa.
The Profanity's running that one, yeah.
Yeah, I saw them hanging out. A couple of them hanging out on the channel.
Yeah.
So Marble
get
Team's
involved,
taking
guys.
shape,
Check out the Marble Team stuff in Pixel's Discord. If you look in the chat or in the Marble Team chat or Marble Team links and look at the pinned tweet, it'll explain everything and all the times. And we just kind of, no obligations. We have the time frames. Come and go when you please. Look at the links we're hanging out in, and we're visiting new streamers and just hanging out and focusing on the streamers. There is a voice chat, but we like to make sure that we're focusing on the streamers and not having a Discord party. So yeah.
And it's Ender's birthday, guys.
Oh,
it is Ender's birthday. Yes,
and he's in chat.
He is in here.
So everybody get some love in chat for Ender's birthday. Big birthday boy.
I'm gonna drop those hearts in there right now. And everybody along the lines of Marble Team too. There is starting. How did I get? Wait a minute. How did I get a Spooo lick in the middle of all my hearts? How the heck did that happen?
That'll happen.
Yeah.
You never know where they're gonna show up.
It's true. It's true.
But everybody, I know there was some confusion about my Marble Team and when I'm going to be running it, guys. We're going to be starting this coming Thursday. It wasn't yesterday. We're going to be starting this coming Thursday. So this coming Thursday, 5 p.m. in the classroom channel, we're going to begin the advanced classes. For streaming, our first topic we're going to open up with is running a successful event. I've had so many people ask me whether they're purchasing marble kits or not. If I'd be happy to provide like some tips to running like a good event, some things you can do ahead of time, things you can do during the event. So I did put a whole nice little class structure together for that. So we're going to start at 5 p.m. in the classroom channel, and then we're going to move to the Marble Team channel at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to do Marble Team. So we'll allow some time for some extra questions if there are any. And then we're going to go hang out with a bunch of our new faces. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. Everybody, thanks so much.
Any new times that show up? Sorry.
Yep.
I was going to say, any new times that show up, we're going to be putting in that pinned tweet as well. So you can find out when all the times are.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out to the podcast. We'll continue this next week, this format, questions. So bring in your questions about streaming and marbles, and we'll discuss everything. Thanks so much for coming out, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
See you.